Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. So, what might you actually notice when you're driving? The symptoms of a P0190 code can range from barely noticeable to your car not starting at all. One of the most common signs is a rough idle. Your car might shake or vibrate more than usual when you're stopped at a light. You could also experience engine hesitation or stumbling, especially when you try to accelerate. It might feel like the engine is about to stall out. Speaking of stalling, that's another big one. The engine might stall unexpectedly while you're driving or right after you started. You'll likely see a significant drop in fuel economy because the engine isn't getting the right amount of fuel. In more severe cases, you might have a hard time starting the engine, or it might just crank and crank without ever firing up. And of course, the most obvious symptom is that trusty check engine light glowing on your dashboard. Now, let's talk about what's causing this problem. The code itself points to the sensor circuit, but the root cause can be a few different things. The most straightforward culprit is the fuel rail pressure sensor itself. Like any electronic part, it can fail over time, but don't just rush out and buy a new one. The problem could be in the wiring. A damaged, corroded, or loose wire or connector between the sensor and the PCM can disrupt the signal. It's always a good idea to visually inspect the wiring harness first. Another possibility is a problem with the fuel pump or the fuel pump driver module. If the pump isn't supplying enough pressure to the rail, the sensor will report a low reading, which can trigger the code. It's not the sensor's fault, but it's the one reporting the issue. A clogged fuel filter can also restrict fuel flow, leading to low pressure. And in some cases, although less common, the issue could be with the PCM itself. Alright, let's get our hands dirty and figure out how to diagnose this. First, you'll need a good OBD2 scanner that can read live data. Plug it in and look at the fuel rail pressure reading. With the key on, but the engine off, you should see a specific pressure value. Check your vehicle's service manual for the correct specification. Then, start the engine. The pressure should increase and remain stable at idle. If the reading is 0, stuck at a certain number, or fluctuates wildly, that points towards a bad sensor or a wiring issue. Next, do a visual inspection. Look at the fuel rail pressure sensor and its connector. Is there any visible damage, corrosion, or loose connections? Check the wiring harness for any signs of fraying, melting, or breaks. Wiggle the connector and wires while watching the live data on your scanner. If the reading changes, you've likely found a loose connection. If the wiring looks good, the next step is to test the sensor circuit. Using a multimeter, you'll want to check for the correct reference voltage going to the sensor from the PCM, which is usually 5 volts. You'll also need to check for a good ground. Finally, you can test the signal wire to see if the voltage changes as the pressure changes. Again, your service manual is your best friend here for wiring diagrams and specific voltage values. If all the wiring checks out and the sensor is getting power and ground, but the signal is incorrect, the sensor itself is likely faulty. Before you condemn the sensor, though, it's wise to check the actual fuel pressure with a mechanical gauge. This will tell you if the sensor is reading correctly or if there is a genuine fuel pressure problem from the pump or filter. If the mechanical gauge shows good pressure but the scanner shows a bad reading, you can be confident the sensor is the problem. If both readings are low, then you need to investigate the fuel pump and filter. Thanks for sticking with me through this deep dive into the P0190 code. I hope this guide helps you track down the problem and get your car running smoothly again. Remember, take it one step at a time, and always consult your service manual. If you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe for more DIY repair guides. Drop any questions you have in the comments below, and I'll do my best to help you out. See you in the next one.